Cash Daddies, Cash Daddies. Cash Daddies, Cash Daddies,
Cash Daddies is for entertainment purposes only. You'd be an idiot to listen to anything these degenerates say. Invest at your own risk, do research, but seriously don't listen to these ass clowns. Now enjoy Cash Daddies.
Welcome to Cash Daddies. We're banking fatties. Well, some of us are, some of us aren't. We're going to get into that. Join me as always. They're the number one dynamic duo since Batman and Robin. Elvis. Fuck that one.
Sonny
but
and
you know
Cher.
what I'm talking about. Sonny and Cher, Elvis and Costello. Not Elvis,
Elvis
right?
and Costello.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Please
It's
welcome
over.
your
You
favorite
already
mine,
ruined it.
Ass Brothers, Howie, Dewey, and Chris Neff. How are you guys?
Good.
A lot better at knowing dynamic duos than you. That's for fucking sure.
Okay, I like that. I deserve that. And on the ones and twos, Evan Hand. How are you, Evan?
All right, guys. How are you?
Doing well. Guys, thanks for coming in. I'm really hopped on coffee, so I probably will be cutting you all off a lot today. So enjoy that. Guys, how was the week, man? How was the week?
Week was solid. Week was extremely solid.
For Howie and Lil E, yeah. And then all of
Howie
a
and
sudden,
Lil E. We
and then-
banked.
and then all of a sudden, Lil E just sells me out down the river and says, "Oh look, little paper-handed Kristen, whole OCGN," and that's after I give him props and say nice work. And then all of a sudden, it's just
I had to get the payback.
Yep, the knife gets twisted, and all of a sudden, people are like, "I'm jumping off this guy Chris's picks. I'm on Little E for life." Well, guess what, buddy? Show me what you done next week. All right.
Yeah.
We'll
Hey.
circle back.
I told you all I was due to crash, and you know, it's 1 week in a bad market, mind you. Okay.
Yeah. I get that
Uh,
for sure.
Uncle Howie did a 40%er in a bad week. Bad week. FSR, baby. FSR. Fister.
Howie's on
Mister-
fire, dude. Chris was fire, but now it's Howie. Howie's been kind of consistent, man. Slow and steady, just like
Yeah.
the Special Olympics.
You know what
That's
else
what
is
that's
consistent?
what I drive in.
You know what else is consistent? People calling us sketchy. We're gonna have to put up a poll here pretty soon because I keep getting called sketchy. Sam gets called sketchy, and I want to know who the sketchiest person is. So maybe
Well,
we'll just
real
put out a
quick,
poll.
dude. I mean, like the only person here that isn't sketchy is Evan because he's not old enough to have racked up any sketchiness. He's
Yeah.
too
Well,
early into the game.
He's not jaded.
I
I
want
want
to
to
have
give
readers. Oh,
I
go
want to
ahead,
give a
Howie.
shout out to the fan that called me a fat Jim Brewer. Thank you.
Howie, you have Alzheimer's. You did that last week, just so you know.
Okay. My bad.
So just we have a lot of people asking because apparently Sam dropped a dime on Howie last week. It was like Howie got arrested. So now everybody's like, did Howie really get arrested? Is Little E really selling his boy ass on Patreon? Can we just circle back and just get
We
get
need
a
those
status
gay
report?
dollars, dog.
Okay, but Howie, did you really get arrested?
No. I did.
So what
I didn't get
happened?
arrested. No, I just came out and a couple of police tried to talk to me and we had a discussion and they left and I gave him a high five and I said I had a great day.
And,
Got
and
it.
you know how hard it is to high five in handcuffs, but he did it.
It's like a quick.
Oh,
Yeah.
it looks like. So did they have guns drawn?
Just a few.
Okay, but you're fine.
Yeah.
I love it, dude. Yeah.
quick
but
shout out
So
to-
he got in, he got out. Dude, he's been there before.
Yeah. It was a good quick. I told a few jokes, made fun of one of the short ones. He wasn't happy. But it was fun. It was fun overall.
Quick shout out to the reader comment of the week. Chris is what you'd get if you bought Jim Carrey on Wish. Well done. That's pretty good shit. We do love all those YouTube comments.
By the
So-
way, I'm known as Crack Daddy. That's who I am on this show, Crack Daddy.
actually, you're known as Slinky Shoulders, which is what I want you to call your new Bitcoin.
Oh, so yeah,
Or
so
what-
supposedly Chris has been figuring out what they want to name my Bitcoin I'm looking into building, and Chris has some names, so let's hear some of the best.
All right. The best is obviously mine, which is Slinky Shoulders coin. Because I don't know if you noticed, dog, but this is how you walk. All right.
What am I, Neanderthal?
No, it's just this is you. I've been calling you Slinky Shoulders behind your back for 20 years.
Oh.
Okay, so
well.
here's what we have. These are the reader write-ins. We have Lizard People coin,
I like it.
Fat Dragon coin,
I love Fat Dragon.
Yeah, it's a good one.
CDC Cash Daddies currency coin,
Not against that.
Fist coin.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
yeah, fist it. Psyop coin,
No,
Swarm coin,
not bad.
all about that action
I'm
coin.
all about that action.
What would no, it's WWSHJD. I forget
What
the
would
actual-
shape-shifting Jesus do?
Okay. And then this one's good. I have twin girls coin. There's
I might make the Ghost Ninja coin.
there
How about
you
the
go.
Ghost
Yeah.
Ninja
One
coin?
side is ghost, the other side is
Yeah.
ninja.
Yeah.
Unbelievable coin.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I'm down with that.
And then chicken snake coin.
Dude, a Braxis coin, that might actually explode because Braxis, the chicken snake god, would look down upon us because he
I don't-
created everything.
I don't even know what chicken snake means, dude.
So agnostics, brother, go back in the day is that the universe is basically there's 365 dimensions all ran by a guy named Abraxas, and I have coined him the chicken snake god because he's half
Okay.
chicken, half snake.
Okay, would that be any relation to this reader suggestion of Baphomet coin?
Baphomet coin. That is the basically it's like the goat devil god.
Okay, so we just voted and we decided we're going to go with Slinky Shoulders coin.
I
And,
will not go with Sleeky Shoulders. I thought it was slumping shoulders. I like that one. Like I was
Nah.
fucking Native American. He who slumps shoulders.
No,
Chris.
because yeah.
What about something real short to the point like Clit Coin?
Clit coin.
Clit coin?
Why does
Yeah.
it look like you're working
Oh.
your clit right there? Why did you say
Oh, so,
that?
Clit coin, the target to go after all the lesbian crypto checks.
Dude, if we
Great
can
idea.
make that and make OnlyFans pay in our coin, bam.
I got some news. I'm looking at a new investment. Fractional. Do you guys know you could buy fractional shares of a horse?
Absolutely.
Know that.
Yeah. And here's the
I do.
thing. I just want to be like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? You know, going to the track to watch my horse race.
We'll watch a fraction of my horse race.
Dude, that's better. That's like the ultimate pickup move. What are you doing this weekend? Going to the track, baby. I got a horse. You don't tell them that you only own 100th of it.
Funny
Yeah.
side, funny side, who won the Derby was owned by fractional shares. If you look up West Point Thoroughbreds, that's all fractional shares. Absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah.
dude, Jay-Z got pissed because the Nets released how much he actually owned of the Nets, which was 0.01%.
Yeah, you didn't know shit.
Wow. But he
You
still
own
gets
nothing.
those courtside tickets, though.
Not anymore, dude, because he owns a management company, or at least he did. I love how it's Rockefeller Records, like nobody talks about Rockefellers. You know, hey guys, real quick, speaking of questions and answers and all that stuff, if you want to support the show, a great way to support the show is go to our Discord. We have a Discord on Discord. Go check that out. We have a Reddit group. We have a subreddit called Cash Daddies. Very interactive, man. Very interactive. For the amount of people that listen, which is growing by the day, to the amount of people on there, it's pretty damn impressive. We also have a YouTube channel, which is, what is it, Evan? It's youtube.com/what? Cash Daddies?
It's just Cash Daddies. We don't have our own URL yet. We have to be over 30 days old to change that.
And dude, we're over 1,000 subscribers. That's so insane. So the show right now is on my personal YouTube, but it will eventually move once we see that you guys got a lot of traction over there. So please go support the show. I don't know if we have a Facebook, but we have a Twitter and an Instagram, both Cash Daddies. And I'm proud to announce, man, if you go to Apple Podcast and put in Cash, I think we're the first Cash that comes up. I think Cash Daddies is the first one. So Cash Daddies there. It's very important that you rate and review. Look at that. First one's up. How good is that? That's pretty badass. So we're the number one Cash on Apple Podcast. So go rate and review. Give us a nice one. And if we see some cool comments, we will read them here. Support us so we can support you on your journey to financial freedom. I am going to be live this weekend with my good friend Howie Dewey, and we will be in Morris Plains, New Jersey at the Dojo of Comedy, my comedy club inside Tiff's. So please come and join us. You can grab your tickets. Go to samtripoli.com and click the link. Howie, are you excited to rock?
Dude, I can't wait. It's gonna be so fun to stand up in front of people again. Last time I did it, I was in St. Louis with you.
Are you going to bleach your eyebrows for this one? Because it looks like you got bleached eyebrows.
No,
I'm walking around the kitchen, man. I'm walking around the kitchen because I'm running out of juice. I had to plug my phone in.
I love the way you stopped dyeing your hair, and we can see where the lightning struck your left temple now.
No, that's actually all natural. I got a screwed up gene in the family.
Of course it is. It's called electricity. You got.
I like how you felt.
Head.
You had to explain that to us. Like we thought maybe you might actually put gray in your hair just to be a little dangerous.
You know, when people ask me, "Where did you get that done? How much did you pay for that?" I'm like, "Fucking, ask my great grandfather who had 3 nuts."
You like that? You should see my balls.
Yeah, I got 6 of them.
Chris Neff, what's your social media?
Chris Neff Comedy and Horsetooth on IG. You can also follow the cats at Jack in Lils on IG as well.
Jack in?
Yeah, it's like not Jackin, but you know, like Guns N' Roses, how they have the N in the middle.
Yeah.
Jack in Lils.
Okay.
Jack and
so you
Lils,
can follow
not
Grown
Jills.
Man and the story of his cats. Howie, what was your social media?
It's Twitter, Howie underscore. I don't know why I said bottom. That's fucking horrible. Howie _ Dewey and Instagram Howie Dewey.
DEWEY. Evan?
Yeah.
All my social media is Evan _hand. You can find me anywhere.
I'm at Ronan Sam Tripoli on Twitter and Sam Tripoli everywhere else. And you can get all my videos at everything I do is on samtripoli.com. TRIPOLI.
Quick note before we bring in our special guest of the day, I got some big news. Any guesses?
What? You're getting a new cat.
No. By the way, one is just a foster until I can get her a new home. I say that, but I'm keeping her.
Can we put some money on that? Yeah.
Let's do it.
We got blocked by somebody this week. Our first block.
Boom. Dude, that's how you know you arrived.
Yes. So we only follow a few people, and I decided to follow the OG legit autist of all time. He's literally autistic, so I don't want to make this a thing and make fun of anybody that's got autism or anything. But he is a certified genius in the stock world. Michael Burry. Did you guys see The Big Short?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Remember the guy that played Christian Bale, or that Christian Bale played? That's him.
Yeah.
So
I love that they had Christian Bale played that guy. That's so great.
Yeah. So he deleted his Twitter a while back, and then he started a new Twitter under a pseudonym called Cassandra. And he was just posting all this doom and gloom with the market crash and being like, I've seen this before. You guys aren't ready for this, you young kids. And then he posted something about the puts or something, and I just called him the ultimate gay bear. And then I go in, and what? He blocks us. So Evan, pull up his last cryptic tweet. I mean, he's a really intelligent guy, but he's like,
piss him off.
Half of his stuff has been deleted.
It's creepy. Like, okay, scroll down to the white one.
This one?
Nope, one more down. Okay, the second coming. I mean, he's like, just read this. Turning and turning in the widening gyre, the falcon cannot hear the falconer. Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. I'm not going to keep going. Anyway,
Yeah, why'd you read the whole thing?
he's basically saying that the market's going to crash. And then he's talking about Kathy Woods, and Kathy's, obviously the Wall Street goddess, and rightly so, and saying that, everything,
We'll
her
see.
ARC funds might tank, but
We'll
it's
see.
just super Debbie Downer shit. And then, it's like we give him a shout out, calling him a gay bear, and then it, boom, blocks us.
I can't
Thought it
believe
was
he
an
got mad at the
overreaction.
gay bear.
Yeah, who wouldn't like that?
Did he know that you're the cat man? I mean, the cat man called someone a gay bear. That's like some fucking Sesame Street shit.
Don't you think it's a little weird that he's got 400,000 followers and he blocks us? I mean, I just see him just constantly going, fuck these guys. You're no good. You're no good. He doesn't even follow anybody.
I'm sorry, dude. It's obvious you're upset.
He's a hero. He called the financial collapse, for Christ's
Yeah.
sake, man.
He didn't like that gay bear shit. Should have
Well,
called him a gay
there's nothing-
kangaroo.
There's nothing wrong with being a gay bear. We know gay bears make money and they deserve to make money. I just called him the ultimate gay bear.
Well, maybe he's
thought it was
mad
an
because you
overreaction.
didn't call him the power bottom gay bear. And they get
That's
upset
right.
about that.
Well, the other thing is I tweeted that we got blocked and somebody deleted the tweet. So I don't understand how Twitter could just go block and deleting their tweets.
Dude, they do that now, dude. They'll block, they'll delete stuff. It's like really creepy. Real creepy. So guys, it's been a crazy week, I know a lot of you guys are giving me crap about crypto. Crypto took a giant shit this week. We're going to get into this conversation with our guest now, but this is what happens, man. I'm getting hit up by people asking me about Monero. Again, we'll talk about it in a few, but it's a long haul, man. This is not a buy, smash, and grab. We'll get into that. We have a great guest for you guys. Anything else you want to talk about?
We're still working on the contest updates. It looks like we're going to go with Market Watch to be the platform for our trading contest. And just keep those comments coming, guys. They kill us. Big shout out to the Art of Getting Up for putting Howie
Zoltan.
Dewey, Zoltan for Howie Dewey, Sam Tripoli, Little E, and horsetooth emojis that you can use to comment. So it's just you haven't seen this, Sam?
No, it's on mine, but I haven't seen horse tooth. I gotta see
it's your
horse
head.
tooth.
It's just my head. Like
I love it. Let me see horse tooth. I gotta see the horse tooth one.
There's you.
Oh, yeah.
Can't really zoom in on him, but
Okay.
there's
I
all
love
four
it,
of
dude.
us.
Thank you, Zoltan.
Yeah,
Zoltan's
yeah.
great. If you need any artwork done for your podcast, a flyer, a t-shirt, I always hit him up. His email is theartofgettingup@gmail. I put it out there so you can get some business. We have a great guest for you. This is actually probably our longest episode we've done so far. He's been on all my other podcasts, and I think you're going to love him. It's a great conversation. I'm super excited to have HotepJesus on. Enjoy the interview, guys. All right, so let's get into it, man. Here we go. This gentleman's been on two of my other podcasts, Tinfoil Hat and the Union of the Unwanted. He's big in the crypto community, has his own wallet. He'll tell us a little bit about it, man. Super excited to have him back. Please welcome HotepJesus. How are you, brother?
Sam, thank you very much. I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
There's so much I want to talk to you about, just outside of markets, being into politics and all that stuff, but this is an investment show, so we'll get into that. Real quick, E is on the ones and twos. We got Howie Dewey, and we got Chris Neff, and of course, you know me, you've been on my shows. For those who don't know you, who live under a rock, can you tell them a little bit about yourself?
I'm the professional nobody. I'm meaningless to your life. I just mind my business, keep my nose clean, and build companies. I have 7 corporations right now. One of them is a Bitcoin company, coinbitsapp.com, which allows people to invest in Bitcoin with the dollar cost average strategy, automatically buys Bitcoin on a weekly basis. I'm one of the co-founders in that company. I'm in AI, both camera vision analytics and deep fakes, iPhone apps. Our nonprofit organization, Hotep Nation, has just released our first app, the Grifties, to accompany our award show, the Grifties. So we have a
I can't
grifties.com.
wait for the Grifties, dude. I cannot wait to see that live, dude.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
So, we got a companion app which democratizes the process. Last year, people were complaining because Alyssa Milano got snubbed at the Grifties. So it's Nap now. You can go vote and vote for your favorite grifter or who you think you should win at the Grifties. It happens at grifties.com. But yeah, like I said, I like to, build apps, stay in tech, sort of teach devs. I'm not a developer myself, but I understand how a product should be developed in the most efficient manner. So that's what I do. I show devs and startups how to develop, from a business dev standpoint, their startup corporation, so on and so forth. I have a class I do every Saturday called the Mogul Summit. And, I give, startup entrepreneurs, answer their questions, comments, concerns, walk through their objectives for the week. Then they come back the next week. We see how they did that week and then tighten up, any problems they may have, so on and so forth. But yeah, that's what I do.
Questions, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
On your coinbits.com app, can you tell us what, if any of our readers wanted to join, what they're allowed to buy and sell on that app? That's question one. And then question number two, you mentioned that you're in the deep fake biz. Is there any way you could deep fake Sam's shoulders into being a little bit more broad for me? I'm getting a lot of suggestions on his possible Bitcoin
Real quick,
game,
though,
and they are
our listeners are called the readers. That's what they're called. They're called the readers. I don't know how that happened, but that is our fan base. They're called the readers, and I like my slumping shoulders. Yeah, so I mean, it's very interesting. Deepfake's very, very, very interesting. This guy just came out on Instagram or TikTok with a Tom Cruise deepfake that was absolutely stunning with how accurate it was. And that is both thrilling and incredibly scary, right? I mean, like the implications are nuts.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just correct Chris there. That website is coinbits.app or Coinbits, or coinbitsapp.com. Can't forget the app, otherwise it'll take you to some other app that's not us. You buy Bitcoin there. That's the only coin we have right now. We're working on making a better product before we add more coins. As far as the deep fake thing, yeah, it's pretty scary what's happening. I saw the Tom Cruise deep fake, very, very convincing. Yeah, I mean, somebody asked me, how do I feel about being involved in a deep fake company, with the negative implications that could be on the horizon. And I told him, yeah, it's quite scary. Sometimes I try not to think about it, but at the same time, that's exactly why I want to get into the business, so I can understand how this stuff works, so we can build defensive mechanisms.
Yeah, can you imagine somebody deep faking Elon like he doesn't do enough talking already and just coming out and being like, buy, whatever, it's going to go up, because the market reacts to whatever he does immediately. And
George,
it would be a total opportunity for some serious pump and dump action if that got into the wrong hands, which it probably already is.
Yeah.
Brian, I got a question on your Bitcoin app. And this is unbelievable. You say that you have a DCA, dollar cost averaging. Is it an algorithm built in where they try to find a weekly low where people buy? How do you do that?
No, there's no algorithm involved. We've internally spoken about that, but it sort of goes against the dollar cost averaging idea. In fact, there's a good study that was out. I forget what website it was, but they compared buying the dip to dollar cost averaging, and they found out the dollar cost averaging actually got you a better price on whatever investment you made, especially on Bitcoin, because you make frequent purchases of dollar cost averaging. So yeah, it's just on a weekly basis. The time is arbitrary, but it's just getting a piece of the pie little by little over time. Yeah,
what you're saying is true. I mean, there's an old saying in the brokerage industry. It's trying to buy the dip is way more painful than owning the stock or anything going through the dip. And it's true. I mean, if you buy, I don't care if you work for a company and you buy a stock, you put a certain amount of money in every month on a certain date, 25 years from now, you're going to be up. You're going to be a winner. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
That's important for people to know.
Yeah, that's how I treat my investing. Every once in a while I'll do a option buy, but I'm a very conservative investor. But if I see something that's a no-brainer, I'll buy some contracts.
Yeah, and one thing I'll say is before you came on, I did about a 10-minute Google, and I saw you put out a tweet that I thought, this is what I preach on this show on a weekly basis. Brian put out a tweet that said, if you're 25 years old and you put $100 into a Roth IRA, in 30 years, you're going to have $250,000. And what do I say every single week? A Roth IRA is the most important thing that a kid or a person in their 20s can do to create wealth. I don't know anything more important because it grows tax deferred, it's compound interest. And I thought that tweet you put out was awesome.
Yeah. A lot of people, they stress about money, right? And retirement and these things, but they miss all the easy vehicles that'll get them to a place of comfort. Maybe a decade from now, even 2 decades from now, you figure you can retire at 40. Most people are, I feel bad. I go to Target and I see this lady, she's like 80 years old, bagging groceries. I'm just like, wow, like I do not want that to be me or anybody I know. But again, it's just a matter of conserving a little bit, throwing it into one of these investment vehicles and never touching it.
That's the key. That is the key.
On that note, I read one of your tweets yesterday and retweeted it because it really struck me too. It's a big one. It's, you say here's the big secret to life, which is, a big statement right off the top. And it really resonated with me. It says 1, create, 2, share your creations with the world, 3, mind your business. And then underneath it, there is no competition because most people can't do 1 and 3. That's some really deep stuff right there.
That is some deep stuff, dude. That is life, my friend.
Keep
That
it
is
simple,
truly life.
Keep it simple.
I have this thing right now, man. It's abundance versus scarcity. And like I am leaning hard into abundance right now. And that is maybe tipping a little bit more than I would normally be comfortable with. Like hiring a buddy of mine to do something just because I know he needs a little help, little things like that. It like gets down to me, it gets down to like, have you ever had a landlord that doesn't fix anything? You ever did a gig where the guy, you had a fight for everything you already agreed on? Those people don't last. It always comes to an end because that's scarcity. The people who like, we're all comics here. When you go to a club and they go out of their way to treat you great, that club lasts, man. People emotionally invest. If someone's willing to give you just a little cash for your time and your effort, you run through a brick wall, man. Like there is no competition. There is none. Only with yourself.
Yeah, my Saturday class, I tell people when we look at the markets, not investing markets, but just, if you're in the business of shoes or, fitness, there is no such thing as markets. There's no such thing as competition. There's only market partners. Your competition is actually your partners.
Always.
They help, look at Zuck. There's no competition for Zuck. He just grabs your features and then builds upon them. So he's like, oh, thank you. Right. That's, good job, partner.
It is unbelievable.
Competition is the greatest thing that can happen to your business. You start a business and all of a sudden you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 competitors. Man, that's what you want.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing a good job and more people are going to be out. It's like that in any industry. I don't care if you're a painter, a plumber, an electrician. You want competition. More competition, more money you're going to make. Always.
Yeah, it's that old concept of guy opens up a McDonald's on a corner and starts killing it. And then a guy opens up a Burger King across the street and he's like, oh shit, there goes my business. But in the end, both businesses profit because more people are coming to that one corner and making a decision to go to either place.
Yeah.
Chris, you know what's a great example of that is the NFL in LA. They could have brought the Raiders here and it would have had the Raider base excited. And then everybody who hates the Raiders, which there are a lot of in LA, would instantly become Rams fans. But now, because the owner got greedy and wanted lesser competition for the market, he brought in basically the enemy of this market, which was the San Diego Chargers, into the market. And now neither of them have a fan base because nobody cares. Instead of going, oh, dude, yeah, the Raiders are going to get a big chunk of this, but LA is huge and everybody hates the Raiders, will come and listen and love my product. And now it's just like the NFL is drowning in LA because nobody cares.
Who cares about the Chargers?
You know what? I could give a shit about either team, but I do love the stadium and they play in, and it is one of my picks, which we'll get into later in the show. But don't forget about the corporate package around that.
I would like to talk, Hotep, about the reason we started this show was that I was one of these guys that was blessed that I hung around in the game long enough. I'm older than most of you, that I hung around long enough to understand how the internet works and to take advantage. And my skill set actually fits really well with this modern day model, which is just be relentless with content. Because, if I wasn't doing this, I would literally just be talking to myself. So might as well throw the camera on and try to make a living off it. So there's these people who have money coming in. Like we had a OnlyFans model on to talk about what she's doing with her money. And she's making just a little enough to hey man, congratulations. Cause I know that's a flooded market. They have flooded that market. There's enough naked chicks on there that they're literally going, I'm not making any money. That's insane to me.
Don't forget about the men. Little E just put his boy ass on OnlyFans after taking his dip on GameStop. It's
gotta make that money up. But as we started the show, I realized my dad was a business teacher in high school. He didn't teach me anything about the stock market and how these market work. And I kind of take a look because you and I kind of also are in the truther or conspiracy or what's really going on out there world, and we kind of have some of the same beliefs. I always retweet your stuff, and I think the demographics who are always complaining about scarcity, opportunity, the system and all that stuff. And I also go, a lot of those people you don't hear talking about stocks and calls and puts and shorting and all this stuff. It's not in that. It's just not taught in the culture. Whatever culture it is across all races, genders, and sexual orientation, whatever it is, it's just not taught. And the difference between the demographics who seem to be doing really well with generational wealth and the ones that aren't are the ones who know how to invest their money.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, you got to understand the dollar. If you don't understand the dollar, you'll never understand how to make money. You'll never understand why you don't want dollars. When you look at the history of money, if we go back to 17th, 18th century Europe, there was a lot of market manipulation. There was a lot of currency manipulation. In fact, you can go look up this thing called coin clipping. And they used to take this device and scrape off the edge of the coin.
Yeah. They would clip little parts of the silver coin off and make a whole new coin.
Yeah. And then, or sell the coin based upon, or sell the precious metal based upon its weight and melt it down and whatnot. But what people understood was that, I should say people at the top, they understood that currency is very fickle, but resources is not. In relation to price changes, when we talk about price changes, land doesn't move that much. The price of land doesn't move that much. The price of goods doesn't move that much. A lot of that stuff is moving based upon the currency. So if you can trade the currency for a capital good, you're usually in a good place. So that's what people used to do. They used to, when it's a bull market, they collect the currency, take the currency, buy like a castle, some land, right? And then when the market dipped, they just took some of the cash they may had, buy the dip, let the market recover, buy more capital goods. And they kept doing that. Or it might be horses or, something that would replenish itself over and over again. And that's what people don't understand. And understand that, they save. And it's like, what are you saving for? Like, your savings account should be at whatever you need to survive for maybe this year. The rest should be operating somewhere else, man. If you got a large savings account, that's why you're going to wait till you turn 60 to retire. You're not even getting a return on that money. If you'd have had that in Bitcoin.
Yeah. In that savings account, that's dead. It's dead money.
Yeah.
Doing nothing. You got to have money in it, whether it's real estate, whether it's collecting rent, whether it's the market, whether you're investing in your own business. It's got to be something generating solid money, because you're right, man. A savings account is that's the last place in the world you want your money.
Yeah.
But the thing about that is that in the past, people are too afraid. And I was one of those people forever who just banked their money, put it in savings. And up to a year ago, the stat that jumped out at me that blew my mind is 50% of Americans did not own stock. And in the last year, since this COVID crash, I would venture to say that number has shot up through the roof, because so many people are awakening to this idea that I can do this on my own. And apps like Robinhood have made it so easy to do it on their own. But people are still, they have that trepidation, like, I'm going to make a mistake if I jump in. And that's really what the goal of our show is to say, you can't make mistakes if you just have a little knowledge. And that's what we want to put out there to these people. So they are saving for earlier retirement than ever thought possible before, as opposed to taking that 0.5% interest on their savings account.
That fear is generational. It goes back to the Great Depression or the Panic of 1920. It's because a lot of people were duped by Wall Street into getting into bubble markets. Big booms. Some of them were putting their house up to buy stocks. Some of them were margin trading, taking out loans. So it was irresponsible trading that was happening. That when the Great Depression hit or the Panic of 1920 hit, that people lost everything. And so they said, we're never going to do this again, right? But that's different from saying I'm going to take 50% of my paycheck and just bank it over here and work on a couple of cash flow streams. Here's the other thing that people mess up. People have a job and they're like, okay, I'm good. I got a nice paying job. I got the cash flow coming. And it's like, what happens if a virus hits and now you're out of work, right? You don't diversify your income streams. So diversifying income streams is part of that money mix you need to have to create self-preservation. But it just comes back to the fact that there's ways to invest safely, and you want crashes. You want crashes. Like right now, Bitcoin is crashing. And I'm like, fucking yes, baby. Let's go. I hope you go to $1 so I can just take my whole bank account and just dump it in there and sit back and wait 10 years and reap the rewards, right? Whereas some people who bought at the top, they're probably selling right now. So they lost money and they're like, oh, I bought Bitcoin, I lost money. Yeah, because you're an idiot. You don't know how to invest. You don't invest for today. You invest for a decade from now.
I concur, man. I concur. You're just seeing there's a lot of people coming from the stock world into the digital world, digital currency world, and they're treating these digital currencies like stocks in that they're doing this bump and dump stuff. And with the Dogecoin, I've said here before, I think that's its purpose, is just for the people who want to act like it's stock. pump it up, sell it, wait for it, and we're just going to rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. But these other ones, I constantly tell people, like, this is not a grab, a smash and grab. These are like, this is a sit on it and don't touch it for a while and see what happens to the market. But you know, we're not allowed to call it dumb money, Chris. What are we what are we calling it now?
Yeah, just the new money.
New money.
The misconception is that there's dumb money in the market. There's always dumb money in the market. New money, Wall Street thinks new money is dumb money in the market, but they're underestimating the fact that Generation Z, you know, little E's generation, they're smart. They're not making crazy dumb plays. You're always going to have idiots that jump in on, you know, lotto ticket options, but the new generations are being underestimated. And that's what I love seeing, like GameStop explode and just take it to Wall Street, because they're underestimating these people. And they have time. And the other thing that I'm just saying that the thing that COVID provided was all these kids that didn't have jobs, nothing but time to do research and make intelligent decisions. And I think that's admirable.
But back to like the point of digital currency and what Hotep was talking about is that these are long-term investments. These are hold on to them and see where they go. It's not like the get out that, you know, in our text thread, I see you guys doing with all the stocks, because that is the stock market. That's how it operates. It's grab it low, sell it immediately high when it gets to a number you're comfortable with, and don't stay too long because it could shoot down. You're stuck with a bag. Whereas for me, when I'm telling you about all these coins that, you know, that I am interested in terms of the Aave coin, which was this Ethereum based coin that went from 50 cents to $500 in a year. If you would have bought 10,000 of that, you would be walking around with $5 million. So there's going to be another one, because everyone's going to come in and look at Bitcoin and be like, oh, it's too much, I can't buy it. Oh, this coin's kind of like this. And they don't know the practical application of the coin, but they see they can afford it and they're going to buy a whole bunch, which will shoot it up. Bitcoin to me is like Charleston Heston and guns, right? Pry it from my cold, dead hands. All right. You hold on to it until it becomes beyond fuck you money, right? These other ones you can play around with, but grab it and put enough money into it that you don't need it right back. That's
Bitcoin. Bitcoin is basically, I'll give you a good analogy. I know you don't like a lot of my analogies, but here's a good one.
I love that.
Bitcoin is the Berkshire Hathaway of the cryptocurrency market. And it is. The bottom line is, you know, all these senators, and they can come out and they can shit on Bitcoin and say, hey, we don't trust it, blah, blah. Bottom line is, you know who is trusting it right now? Goldman Sachs, Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley. All these guys are tossing billions of dollars in it. You want to know why? Because they know where it's going to be in 3, 4, 5 years. In my opinion, it's one of the safest long-term investments there are. All you got to do is sit back and say, geez, Goldman Sachs is buying billions of it. Morgan Stanley's buying. You think it's going to work? Of course it is, man. Now the fix is in. The fix is in. This thing's gone, man. It's going to be trade. Remember Berkshire Hathaway? I remember it was at $100, $200 a share. And then about 20 years later, if you wanted to buy a share, you had to have $35,000 until it split a zillion to one. That's Warren Buffett.
I just want to back up a little bit on that. The thing that we need to realize now, and this is my personal opinion, is we have the equities world merging with the crypto world, and you cannot have a portfolio that doesn't have both, in my opinion. If we want to talk about true diversification, you need to accept and embrace the crypto world just as you would accept and embrace the equities world. And just to back up, Sam, when you're talking about Howie and I making smash and grabs, yes, we are traders, but we are. I trade on a weekly basis, no more than 5 to 10% of my portfolio on swing trades. I am extremely diversified. So when I say buy something to our readers, it's a long-term hold. It's something I'm putting into my portfolio, and I'm not planning on touching for 5 to 10 years. Now, when we're talking middle of the week, smash and grabs, those are calculated moves that we're making that are strictly speculative swing plays based on what Howie and I perceive as information that we think is going to profit on the short-term basis. But as a note, we are not personally trading more than 5% of our funds in a given week. So I want to make that real clear to people, that ask us about our trades. You have to be diversified. And at this point, with what we're seeing, if you're only in the stock market or only in Bitcoin, I think you're making a big mistake, because we've seen what Howie just said, with just major institutions coming along, and they are late to the party, and they might, they all probably wish they would have done this five years ago, but they're all being combined at this point, and you have to have both.
Here's the thing. This is how everything goes, whether it's comedy, the UFC, and Bitcoin. The outlaws build it up, and then the corporations come in and try to control it. Always.
Yes.
This is just how it goes. But
Yes.
I think Bitcoin's the one thing, because I think Bitcoin is the sun, and all the rest are shit coins or planets that go around the sun, and they're always going to be going up and down. But Bitcoin, even though we're taking a dip, and I'd love to get Brian's take on this, is like, we're entering a world where people have to ask themselves, is Elon Musk, who's investing his investors' money into Bitcoin, are we okay with him talking about its value too high and plummeting and just making the number dip? I mean, is this okay? I accept this business as usual, but it doesn't seem like that should be legal, especially if you own stock in Tesla right now. What are your thoughts on that whole thing?
Real quick to stay on that, real quick, 30 seconds. You got a point about Elon Musk. Listen, whatever he says, it doesn't matter. It may matter for a day or two, but when you got trillion-dollar institutions like Goldman Sachs, they don't give a shit what Elon. Elon can say whatever he wants. It may affect the stock for a day or two, 3 days. Bottom line, in the long term, whatever Elon says, it's not going to affect Bitcoin. Go ahead.
You said Elon said Bitcoin was overpriced?
Yes.
He's also said Tesla was too last week.
Well, he's not wrong.
No, I agree.
I told people months back, I said, I'm looking for a retracement in Bitcoin back to 10 to 12K. And everybody laughed at me. And then it went up to, I was at 30K, I said that. And it went up to like 50K. And everybody was like, oh, remember you said this, remember you said this. And I'm looking at Bitcoin drop right now. I'm like, all right, here we go. Let's get back down to 10, 12K. Let's be realistic about this thing. And let me throw some more money in this thing nice and low. Yep. When it hits low, I'm gonna leverage down high.
You want to see higher highs and higher lows.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Brian, what's your target on Bitcoin?
Well, you put out a tweet, Brian, that's gonna get down to 0. I'm like, whoa. What?
Oh no, that was our Clubhouse.
Okay.
That was a link to our Clubhouse. We were trolling on Clubhouse. Bitcoin is 0. Changed my mind. No, I got 10 to 12K price range.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I'll be buying a bunch of Bitcoin then if it gets down to that.
I mean, last year's low was 3K. Right?
Yeah.
Somewhere in that range. So this year's low should be 10 to 12K. And the next year's low will be 20K. It'll just slowly rise. I come from traditional investing world. I look at charts and I see things and I'm just like, all right, y'all could play, all these little grids and make up all these names you want. I know when I can see a floor when I can find a floor. But yeah, so we're down, I want to say at least, what are we down? Like
8% today.
8% today? Let's go. Fucking drive this price down. Let's shake out the weaklings, right? Let sell it. Yeah, everybody sell your Bitcoin. Sell. Sell. That's my signal.
You can buy more.
Signal.
Bitcoin is the sun, right? I mean, do you like any of these other coins at all for any purposes? Like,
I love them all.
I'd asked you about RXP. And you said don't get into I wouldn't get into it.
XRP. You mean XRP, right?
Yeah, what'd I say?
You
RXP.
said RXP.
Okay, XRP. Right?
RXP was that's correct. Yeah, that just say RXP. Don't give them any respect. They deserve no respect. I love Doge. I love Ethereum.
What do you love about Doge?
I love the fact that Doge is real money.
In what sense?
again, we got to go back to the history of money. At one time, people were trading fucking seashells. What the fuck gives seashells its value?
Pretty.
Exactly. That's Doge. It just looks pretty, right? It's just cool.
Chris
Right?
has
Like,
a ring of them around his neck.
some people were selling or trading goods with beads and all these different things. Like, so many different things were money at given time periods. Anything can be money. It doesn't matter what it is. So I love that somebody can come in, create this bullshit currency and call it money. Yes, I love Dogecoin. I think it's great.
On that note, you want to talk about creating a bullshit currency. I mean, the dollar is effectively a bullshit currency. It's not backed by anything. It's backed by the US government. It's like, you take our word for what we're worth. That's it. There's no dollar. There's nothing behind it.
Correct.
So
Well,
here's
they can't say there's nothing behind it. There's a whole lot of guns and ammo behind it.
yeah,
that's
nuclear
truly
weapons
true.
that we can drop on other countries and go to war and make money when we need it. Yeah. 100%. What's your take on non-fungible tokens? Because we've seen this explode.
I don't get it.
Weeks.
I'll be honest with you. I still don't get it.
Howie. Neither does Howie.
I don't get it.
Spent all weekend
Fucking
trying to. I don't get it either.
I don't get it. Somebody's gonna have to explain it to me better. Like,
Well,
what are you? Are you selling
this way.
something tangible?
No.
No.
I don't get that. What the fuck am I buying? You're selling me some digital shit I'm gonna store on my computer and I got to bid on it and I got to share that product with somebody else.
I can't wrap my head around that shit. I think a kindergartner could.
I think it's a scam, yo. Like, I don't know. For right now, I'm not gonna say it's a scam, but it feels real like fickle. I feel like this is one of the things that's gonna come and go. I don't know. Somebody explain it to me.
Let me play the flip side of that.
All right.
When crypto came out, I thought it was a scam.
No,
I was
explain NFT to me. Don't tell me about
non-fungible
that.
tokens.
And why is it good?
I'm not saying it's good. I'm just playing the flip side of
What
it's
is
new.
it?
Literally
what
what
are
it
you
is.
What are you buying?
You're buying a one of one. You're buying something that there's only one of in the world. That's the concept.
A digital version of it.
Correct.
Like trading cards.
Yeah. So you could look at it as, well, what if this one of one is backed by Shepard Fairey or, Banksy? What if it's connected to somebody we already respect or we already perceive as valuable? I can understand that angle of NFTs. What I can't understand is a 5-year-old sketch of a cat that is literally $172,000.
Well, if you're somebody who's invested in this technology, it would be really smart of you to buy that painting for $170,000. So everyone goes, whoa, you could make $170,000 on this. And now everybody's talking about it. It's the same thing with Mr. Potato Head, Potato Head.
There you go.
They had no intentions of changing that name, but they put it out there and everybody went to war over Mr. Potato Head, Mrs. Potato Head, Shim Potato Head, whatever it was going to be, right? And that's like, if I'm a guy that's invested in this technology and I have some seed money, I would buy that cat painting for $100,000. And then everybody's talking about how somebody just bought this painting for $100,000. How much press did that get? It was talked about on a ton of podcasts, tweeted everywhere, made all these giant magazines stories. And it's just like, you can't pay for that press.
There was one that went for $6 million, I heard last week.
It had to have been a Saudi.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Saudi's like two things: freaking weird digital paintings and white girls from Southern California. That seems to be the two things. They like to turn them into what they call porta potties, but that's a different show, everybody. That's a different. Hey, it's the world we get into. Okay, it's currency. You want currency, hotel? You got that. That's currency. Those titties are currency.
I just don't get it. I talked to people. I researched it. When it was all said and done, I said, that's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard of in my life.
Yeah, me too.
I literally sat back and I said, there's not one fucking thing that anyone has said to me where I would spend 5 cents on any of this shit.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
And
Evan,
I
would you
really
like
like
to- hold on, let's let Evan speak for his generation.
Yeah.
Why you guys doing weird shit?
So it is art. It is art, but you can like put it inside of different types of games. This is what I'm gathering. This could be completely inaccurate, but you can use like your own avatar inside of these games, and it's one of one. Nobody else has it. Like that's what makes you unique, apparently.
So it's like the Mona Lisa, and I can put it in what? Grand Theft Auto?
I don't believe. I think there's like specific games for it, like the Monero. I believe you were talking about.
Yeah.
The game that uses that currency. They sell.
Oh, you mean Mana, the
yeah.
decentralized?
Yeah.
Which, dude, they would fight you if they heard you say it was a video game. They get really pissed off.
Oh,
To
man.
them, that's some
My
real
Twitter's
shit,
about to blow up.
right? That's some real shit, and it's basically like, you know. So, Hotep, you saw that video that the World Business Conference put out. Well, I forget, the Business Forum put out, where it's like, you will own nothing and love it. Like, this thing that they're doing right now is with this virtual reality world is like kind of programming these kids to be like, buy virtual land. That's the cool stuff.
Yeah.
Right? It
Yeah.
fits right into that whole fucking thing that these
Yeah,
wizards
you
are
about to
trying to get
have
us
me.
to do.
Yeah, you about to have me buy some virtual shit. Like,
Yeah.
nah, motherfucker. I need some shit I can put on my wall, right?
Yeah.
And transport it from here to there, and we can sell that. Sell real art. But somebody just took 5 seconds to throw some cat together, and you're gonna have a bidding war on it.
Yeah,
I might flip it.
If I can't toss it into a U-Haul, I'm not buying it.
This sold for $6.6 million.
Yeah, and it's digital art.
You know
And
what?
it's in like a,
Is that supposed to be Trump?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks
I've
like
seen that.
it.
I've seen that before.
Yeah.
So that
here-
sold for $6.6 million. Who bought it?
I have no. It doesn't say.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like, this is why I don't like shit like this, because nobody looks at the finer details. It's sold
Probably
for
never
6 point.
happened.
Yeah,
Probably
exactly. This is what I'm saying. Like, come on, somebody tell me who bought it. What's his background? What are his intentions? Who's he connected to?
Where is he?
Where is he?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just like, this is what they do. This is marketing 101. I mean, how many times do you send hot chicks into nightclubs and have them order drinks to get guys up, be like, oh, girl, hot chicks like this drink and stuff like that? It's just, it's fake. It's influencers, they're called. Like, this is an influencer. Well, this is just some influencer, some guy like, I paid $6 million for this. And now everyone's going to be like, dude, we create this. All of a sudden, people are going to buy it for thousands and thousands of dollars. Does it work? I don't know.
The guy that bought that's probably a 10th grader in Queens. He's probably in high school, just some public school thing, high-fiving his buddies saying, look at the shit I just pulled off, man. They think I just bought that for $6 million. Oh, yeah.
You know what?
Have you found out who it was yet?
I'm looking. I can't find it.
So I'd love to see this podcast in 5 years from now when we're totally wrong and everybody's just like running around with NFTs laughing at us going,
hey,
these guys missed the fucking boat again.
We have been wrong before. Just ask Evan.
I'm paying attention to the NFTs thing because I don't want to be, a laggard, but at the same time, my brain isn't comprehending why these things have value, and it feels like a pump and dump scam.
Yep.
Head on a swivel. That's how you got to do it. But man, I mean, like, for me, when I buy digital currency, I go into like on Coinbase. Everybody hates Coinbase, but the one thing I like about Coinbase, it breaks down what is the practical use of this coin. What is it? Okay. And a lot of times it will be like it's using this internet purpose, that internet purpose, and based on that, if it's not too specific, meaning it could be used in a bunch of places, I feel like I could purchase this and have my investment go up. So we'll see. I don't see a lot of practical purpose. I mean, like to buy something like this and then stick it in your virtual house. So I have to go into your virtual house to see your virtual painting. It just, to me, but Mana, which is the currency that you would use to buy your virtual house and buy your virtual painting. To me, that has some practical use. We'll see if it grows or not. What are some of the other coins you like?
I don't really pay attention to that stuff, man. I'm in the crypto world, but I let the experts. I study traditional money, man, and I study history. I'm a history buff. So when I look at these currencies, all I see is copper, silver, gold. Like that's what I see. I don't see the technologies behind them, right? Like I know Monero's supposed to be a privacy coin, and this one does this and this does that. I'm just like, I really don't give a fuck what these coins do. I'm just interested in making money. So if the shit's gonna pump, then I'm gonna buy it, right? And I'm gonna store it for 10 years. I got a theory about Bitcoin though that I want to share. And I think I made this up just now on the show.
We do it all the time, dude.
So this is an exclusive. This is HotepJesus's law of money. And this is piggybacking off of Gresham's law. You guys familiar with Gresham's law?
I am not.
But
So Gresham's law says that bad money drives out good money. And when it says out, it's basically out of circulation, out of the market. For example, when fiat currency first hit the scene in the United States, everybody started hoarding the silver, and there was no silver left in circulation. So they had to start balancing things out to bring silver back into circulation, because a lot of people were like, I could take this silver and I can trade it for shit in the European market, and that's what I'm going to do. So silver started going to Europe. Or people were just hoarding it in their house. So that's Gresham's law. So I wanted to take it to a step further and say HotepJesus' law of money says that bad money turns good money into a reserve asset. And that's what Bitcoin is. It's a fucking reserve asset. And people kind of hit on it when they said Bitcoin is gold. It's like, yeah, you're not buying that because you want to trade it. You're buying that because you want to store your value somewhere, because this money's about to just tank its value. But at least it's gold, at least it's Bitcoin, at least this has some chance to stand the test of time. So that's what Bitcoin is. That's what fiat Federal Reserve notes do. They make Bitcoin not money. Like people call Bitcoin money. Bitcoin's not money. Ask somebody to buy something from you with their Bitcoin. They're like, oh, I'm not doing that. And you can have some of these ERC tokens or, or some of my Litecoin or something, right? Or my Mana. You can't have my Bitcoin, right? So that's not money. So again, bad money turns good money into a reserve asset. HotepJesus' law of money.
Bam. Write that down. Put that on a t-shirt.
I mean, that makes sense. A lot of people think that. I mean, you ask any financial expert, they'll tell you Bitcoin is basically a replacement. It does the same thing gold does. It's supposed to work inversely. When the stock market drops, Bitcoin's supposed to go up. That's the way it's supposed to happen. We'll see. It's still new. We'll see. So, but it's funny. You said you can't buy. I was telling Sam about 3 months ago, there's a bar, 2 bars in Manhattan. And when you walk by the bar, it says, we will sell both bars for 5 Bitcoins.
Yeah.
Well, let's wait till that shit drops to 10K and go fucking take them up on their offer.
They're going to take the sign now and then. That's not going to go scarce.
That sign will be down, man.
Yeah.
So are you still like gold, silver? There's a little run on silver 2 weeks ago based on what people think was a false manipulation of Wall Street bets. And
Guns and ammo. Guns and ammo are the best investment, bar none.
I think I'm gonna get into gun trading, dog. Why not?
You gotta buy guns. I mean, the price of ammo. Pull up the chart on what?
Smith & Wesson. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Remington.
Buy guns, man. Buy guns, buy ammo. I mean, the price of ammo was up like crazy last year to this year. I forget the number was. I don't want to say it because people are like, oh my God, you were wrong. But buy guns and ammo. That stuff is gonna last the your kids. They're gonna be like, oh wow, this is a gun. Wow, your dad has a gun. I haven't seen these since our history books, right? So buy guns, man. You know, I think that's one of the best investments ever.
If Sam's listening, he's hearing guns. He's not hearing guns. He's hearing bazookas.
Yeah.
So that's the
If I could
last
get a
thing we need.
bazooka, get one.
You
Get
can.
that? Yeah. Your money's a lot safer buying that type of stuff than.
I'll tell you, it's tough in New York, though, man. It's tough having a gun in New York. You get pulled over for that. That's a rough sentence.
Well, you don't want to have a handgun. You need to have. You got to keep your rifle in the trunk. I think they allow you. I think they allow you to have a rifle, but a handgun, that's a no bueno. I think it's only from your house to the range and back. Yeah.
And New York needs some serious reworking. I mean, it's so funny. They're talking about the governor and it's just like, oh, he's got to get impeached. It's like 15,000 people died. Why are we talking about impeachment? Why aren't we talking about jail at this point? But there's a whole bunch of, it's like New York City is interesting because if you lower taxes, there would be 90 million people living in New York City. So it's the same thing with California. I'm enjoying this. Everyone's moved out because they're all afraid of taxes going up. I don't like taxes. I think taxation is theft. But if it was like, if we had the same taxes that say Tennessee, I wouldn't be able to go anywhere because there'd be a bazillion people here. So it's like a kind of interesting thing. But the gun stuff is like, how much of they're coming for the guns is real? And how much is it like gun companies going to make a shit ton of money again?
Well, you got to understand how the Fabian socialists work. The way they work is their old logo used to be, or the new logo was turned into a turtle because they take away your rights little by little. They chip away at it. So the gun grabbing thing is definitely real. It's just that it happens really slow. There's legislation that was put into the House. I think it's HR 40 by Sheila Jackson. So, and the provisions in that was like basically like nobody would be able to own a gun. It's like you have to get a mental screening and this and that and $800 a year license. And it's just like, what? Like, yeah, it was like really wild what's in this bill. But that stuff is definitely real. That's what socialists and communists do. They take away your rights little by little and centralize power. But look at this, the price of the AR-15. I remember a couple years ago, you get an AR-15 between $300 and $500. You can't even get one right now. They're sold out everywhere.
I know a guy that has a few. If you need one.
Hey, I like that.
By the way, I just pulled up the chart on Smith & Wesson. It's up over 100% since last March.
Since last March? Wow.
Oh, snap. Send me those. I want to buy stocks in gun companies.
Buddy, you're late to the party.
Yeah.
Man, it's going to keep going up, dude.
You're never late to buy gun stock.
Yeah, dude. Guns are just going to keep going up, man. Every time Biden mumbles something, people get weird the fuck out. Real quick, I want to ask something real quick. So we're seeing this movement right now with taxes. And one thing is like we see these socialists wanting to do raise taxes, because they think if we spent more on taxes, more things will get fixed, which they don't understand. The only thing that will get fixed are politicians' bank accounts would go up because they would just increase their salaries and what they spend money on, like Gavin Newsom buying $1 billion in Chinese masks. So what do you think about rich kids thinking the solution to stuff is higher taxes? Because my belief is that they do this because they know their fathers, their grandfathers all have the best accountants who will figure out a way to beat whatever tax code that's come out. And what they really just want to do is tax the middle class and destroy small businesses, because that is always like the $15 minimum wage thing. That's just going to hurt small businesses. Yeah. It's just going to destroy it. You're not going to be able to have employees.
Yeah. So when you think about that, you got to understand that I think it was Nelson Aldrich, and there's some speculation that Nelson Aldrich, whose daughter married into the Rockefeller family, Abby Aldrich. She married David Nelson Rockefeller, David Jr. And getting back to the point, there's some speculation he may have been in the vicinity of Karl Marx while being in Europe and may have studied under him. Anyway, he comes back to the United States at some point, and he delivers us the Tariff Act of 1894. And inside the Tariff Act of 1894 is the introduction of a graduated income tax, which everybody said was unconstitutional. And then we know that in 1913 it was made pretty much permanent.
By
The
the Fed.
IRS Act. Well, IRS Act, yeah. Which is all in the same year. So my point being is that these kids are educated by socialists. So they think like socialists. When you go to these universities, they're all socialists, educators, professors. So the kids are brainwashed from early. So they don't know anything outside of that. They think having taxes is supposed to help somebody. You go watch a documentary, I think it was Thomas Sowell or Walter E. Williams. I can't remember, but it was Sowell. It was Sowell. Sowell said he was disappointed because, you know, Thomas Sowell used to be a socialist. And Thomas Sowell said, you know, I was a vehement socialist. And then I went and got a job in government. And he said, the job in government turned me into a capitalist. He said, why? He's like, because I saw an opportunity to, I think he was in the labor department, and he saw some sort of program, and he said, oh, the minimum wage program. He said, well, if we do this, this, and this, then we can help people out. And they basically tossed his program out. They're like, get out of here. And that's when he realized, like, wait, these people aren't actually trying to help anybody. So he stopped being a socialist. But that's what government does. These taxes are actually pseudo slush funds.
Let me ask you this. Don't you think right now, I mean, do you think we pretty much live in a socialist country? I mean,
Oh, absolutely we do.
I mean, you take a look at
A rich elite socialist country.
Yeah, who owns Amtrak? One of the biggest transportation who owns Amtrak? I mean, that's it. I mean, come on.
Yeah, we
This is-
definitely live. Yeah, this isn't a free market.
Ah,
This isn't free market. You know, I always give these people this example. I said, when you think about capitalism, it's supposed to be free market, right? And my thing is, what's your definition of free? So Sam, if I took you and I chained you to a tree and I gave you 10-foot of chain, are you free?
Nope.
Okay. If I gave you came back the next week and I gave you 100,000 feet, are you free?
Nope.
1,000,000 feet, are you free?
Nope.
That's America. We got 1,000,000-foot chain, but we're still chained to the goddamn tree.
Yeah.
We ain't free. People think just because we have more freedom than other socialist and communist countries that we're not socialists or communists. But the fact of the matter is, no, their chain just happens to be shorter.
You know what they do is they allow us to criticize the government, whereas in other countries, they would drop hammer on you, right? But here they're like, no, man, criticize. It's great. That's your freedom. But then you go to other places where you can't shit on the government, but they'll let you do whatever the fuck, like Thailand, the Philippines. You could do a lot of stuff out there you can't do in the States, but you can't criticize the government. You know, even China, where I go to China, man, as an expat, you're like, whoa, dude.
Well,
they do a lot of crazy shit. They can't shit on the government.
The thing is, you can talk shit about the government because the government is the neck of the beast. It ain't the head. If you talk about the head, oh, they gonna come for your ass.
Yeah.
Don't talk about the head of the beast, but you could talk about the neck all day. That's how you got to know who's really in charge. The government's just a patsy.
Yeah.
Quick
The government is a
interjection.
paradigm.
Quick interjection.
It's a way of thinking. It's
on
not
Brian.
a thing. It is like if you move the government out of if you have City Hall and you moved it to another building, is that building still government? No, now it's just an empty fucking building. And it's just like people hate government. You hate the people you hate the center. That's what you hate. The government is whatever you make it. Government could be suddenly, hey, it's Clown Town. And everyone's like, yay, we live in Clown Town. That's government. It's like you're tired of the people. That's what we got to do. We got to change the people.
Yeah.
In New York City, the city government, it's right in the basement of the Koch brothers up in the Upper East Side. They pretty much run it.
Well, the Koch brothers and George Soros, they just all work together.
Yeah.
They run it. Those
I
guys-
just want to interject real quickly because I don't want it to get glossed over. Brian's analogy is probably the best analogy we've heard on the show, and we suck at analogies. So can we just bookmark that first of all?
You do.
It's already
You
bookmarked.
and it
Thank
reminds
you, bro.
and your analogy reminds me of one of my favorite jokes about what do you call 500 lawyers at the bottom of the ocean. A good start. That's how I feel about Sam Tripoli chained to a tree. It's a good start we could all use.
Well, you know what, dude? You should start teaching master classes in analogy, and I will pay for Howie's first classes.
You need to
He can
start
use it.
teaching master class and not mispronouncing every other word.
Hey,
But that's
so
why we love you.
let's get into. Hey, dude, that's who I am. I lean into it. Okay, I lean into it. I flung first grade. I'm
Ev,
here.
Ev,
Here
who
I
made
am.
that? Ev, who made that NFT?
Nobody. You don't know.
There was a company who made it.
Who-
They
who
didn't
bought
say
it?
they didn't say who bought it. That's apparently confidential.
This is what's wrong. Ev, your generation is killing me, man.
I bet you.
Well,
was-
I mean, I
it's
don't
a
have
car-
$6.6 million to just throw away, so I'm assuming it was somebody who's probably fairly wealthy.
It's probably a Colombian cartel that's found a new way to launder money. It's probably something just that easy. You know what I
Dude,
mean?
nothing
They're
wrong
like-
with that.
They were, no, but they were like, you know what? We dealt with the banks, and then they screwed up, and we got caught. Let's go into the digital world and crank out some NFTs and launder all this Coke money.
That's
Problem
probably the
solved.
smartest thing said today.
The person
probably.
who
Hey,
the person
thank
who
you.
made
It's
it
about
is
time.
called the person who made it is named Beeple.
People.
Yeah.
Sounds
He's got-
like sheep.
That's called El Chapo's wife.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, dude, that is the whole thing behind art. They mock us. A guy went up, put a tape on a banana, sold for what? How many millions of dollars? You don't think that was laundered money? They're
Not only
just
that,
laundering the money.
not only that, that thing was fucked. Literally
That wasn't even a
fucked.
good
And
banana.
the guy that bought it ate it.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he bought it and then ate the banana and stood there and let people watch him.
I hope it was bruised. Guys, let's get into let's get into our picks of the week. I'm gonna jump out first just because here's my whole thing. I'm gonna tell you I don't really have any coins to push this time. I want to sit back. I know we're going through this dip like we've talked about. I always like Monero. I'm getting a lot of crap from people. Hey, why is this thing gonna go up? Again, it is a long-term investment. This is not a week-to-week thing. You buy it, you sit on it. The Dogecoin to me is the one you buy. Like right now, it's trading for 4 cents. Buy a bunch of them, wait till it shoots up, sell it. That's how you do it. But that's what, dude, it's a long investment. This thing may go down to Bitcoin may go down to 10. I don't know. But we'll see, man. If you
I
want
hope
to buy
so.
on that dip, then buy on that dip. Some people hope. Dude, I mean, when you go to your wallet and that number's down, you're like, you're like, whoa.
I mean,
man.
I'm in so deep, like it could go to 10 and I'd still be up.
Dude,
Nice.
that's cool. That's early,
Wow.
dog.
And
That's
it's
early,
trading in the
dude.
mid 200s right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, what'd you
Yeah,
buy it at?
I mean,
Brian?
I'm talking about Bitcoin.
Oh,
Yeah.
you bought it the day it came out, right?
I wish.
I wish, dude. I have dreams about that, dude.
I-
People are like,
I
you go
have-
back
no,
in time, what would you do? I'm like, I'd buy it at $1.
I swear I have some somewhere from back in the day. I keep convincing myself it's somewhere on one of these computers.
Oh, you're like the guy that got locked out and he's got like $250 million and he can't get in. You have one of those wallets?
I feel like I do somewhere. I'm probably lying to myself, but I just knew about Bitcoin like so early that like I remember investigating and Googling and trying to figure out how to mine that I feel like I might have at some point bought some or somebody gave me some, and I just got a Bitcoin sitting somewhere and don't even know it.
For all the dumb shit I've done in a blackout and can't remember, I'm praying one day I'm going to wake up and be like, oh, you didn't just do coke and, go crazy and wake up in a ditch. You also bought Bitcoin that day. That's what I'm praying for.
Oh, man. I just wish I could. So, Chris, you want to start off?
Well, before I jump into my picks, I'd love to get Brian's take as well as Howie's on what we've seen in the market, because future picks or anybody's picks right now, a lot of people are pumping the gas because they do not know what to make of this market. And, obviously we saw the NASDAQ just shit the bed last week and lose 4.5% of its value in a week, which is not correction territory, but it's pretty significant. And the thing I would like to address before we go forward and also get obviously Brian's take on this is we need to discuss what the bond yields, how they've affected the market, and also this upcoming we'll just call it $2 trillion stimulus. Because the stat that I read that really jumped out at me is
It wasn't the 2 trillion.
That's a drop in the bucket. It sounds like a lot of money, but the stat that jumped out is that 2 trillion represents 2.5% of the FANG stocks, meaning Facebook, Alphabet, Google, Apple, Netflix. So while it sounds like a big number, how significant is it? And we do know that over 50% of these recipients of this stimulus are planning on putting it into the market. But with the recent crash in the NASDAQ and the pullback in the Dow, how much of a correction are we going to see moving forward? Because we keep getting this question. Is the market fucked? Should I hold back on buying anything? And how is inflation possibly going to affect future buying? So Howie, if you wouldn't mind, can you want to address the bond yields? Because that's a huge part of the equation right now.
I mean, yeah, last week it worked the way it's supposed to work. Growth stocks got smashed. Tech stocks got smashed. Bond yields went up. They became attractive. I mean, if you know anything about bonds, they work inversely to stocks. When bond yields go up, bond prices go down. If you buy the bond at a discount and the bond goes up, the actual yield, what you're going to get on that bond drops. So last week, yields went up. A lot of money went into bonds, but it's short term. It's all on the rumor that interest rates could rise, that we may have a tint of inflation. We're not there yet. It's a ways away. I think last week was it was a normal correction. It got hit. I don't think we're going to hit a real correction yet. And like I said, I do feel the NASDAQ will retreat to 11,000. I think tech stocks will get hit.
Huge number, though. That's a huge number.
For a lot of people, maybe. I don't think so. If we go into a bear market, you'll see it down to 8 or 9, maybe even lower. But 11,000 wouldn't be that bad. I mean, a couple thousand points. I don't think it's happening yet. I think you can probably still buy some good solid growth stocks. But with that being said, you shouldn't have your whole portfolio into growth stocks and technology, because if we do get a little bit of inflation, you're going to get crushed. You're going to get, your portfolio is going to drop 50%. And that's why you got to have value stocks. That's why you got to have some real estate. That's
right. So here's my question to people. And then Brian, if you don't mind jumping in and giving us your take as well. Are we going to see a massive rotation from tech to value with reopening plays? Because that's what's being told everywhere right now. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, wait, was that a question for me?
Either one of you. Well, Brian, mainly for you to just say, hey, do you think the market's going to keep going down? Is it a good time to buy with the stimulus money coming in, or is this already baked in?
The big crash comes next year.
Okay.
America was founded in a monkey year. Next year is a tiger year. Monkey and tiger are enemy signs. So we're going to see a huge retracement next year. What this is right now could be just the beginning of that. Also, I just want to correct something I said earlier in regards to, dumping your money into the market. I think it's also important to hoard cash for those crashes so you can take advantage when they come. That's the one reason I would say to hoard cash, is to take advantage of crashes.
When you say hoard, you mean pull it out of the bank and store physical cash?
No, you hold it in the bank. It's just fucking numbers.
Money market fund, yeah.
My whole thing is, if this thing crashes, we see it happen with third world countries all the time. People try to go to these third world crashes. If the wind these third world countries, if the wind blows the wrong way, their market crashes and they try to go to their bank and they can't get their money out.
But the US dollar ain't worth shit outside the bank or inside the bank. So you might as well leave it in. Like when banks, like I don't know if people know this, but when you put a run on the bank, all you're doing is helping the establishment. That's that like doing a run in the bank doesn't do shit. You're just pulling cash and hurting the little bank. You're putting the little bank out, and the big bank's going to come in and buy the lower bank at a cheap price, and the big bank gets bigger, right?
Plus,
so you don't.
FDIC insured. You can't. People don't get. You can't. You're not going to put a bank under. Your money insured. They're going to get it from the federal bank. So it's. I never got that.
Yeah. So
and
know,
even if they do crash, guess what? The federal government's going to come in and bail their ass out anyway.
No, the big bank's going to buy the little bank. Big bank takes out little bank, right? So if your uncle or whatever decided to get into the banking industry, the Fed ain't going to bail that little bank out. They're going to say, "Oh, you fucked up. We're going to dissolve your bank, and we're going to buy you out cheap. Give us your assets." Done, right? And you're just out of business. The big banks will get bailed out by the government. But the Fed doesn't play like that. But you know, the money, whether it's inside the bank or cash in your hand, doesn't mean shit. It's just numbers on the screen.
So I think what Brian's saying, like when he says hoard cash, he doesn't mean take shoe boxes and dig a hole.
Right.
What he's saying is, like, let's say, for instance, you own 50% growth stocks, 25% value, you own some Bitcoin, and let's say you have 5% cash. Well, you know what? Maybe sell some stuff and let's go 10%, 15% cash, so that when this crash does happen, bam, you can jump in when everyone's jumping off cliffs. And 5 years from now, you're making a nice percentage change.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's what Brian's saying is you got to have the dry powder on the sidelines.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be able to pounce. If all your money's in the market, a little bit.
Okay.
If all your money's in stocks and you see a dip like we saw last week, you can't reload. So cash should always be part of your portfolio to some degree.
Yeah.
So you can utilize it like a fucking bazooka and pounce on some shit.
Right.
I'm buying stocks and guns this week.
Yeah. Buy the actual, just like people tell you buy gold, buy actual guns.
I got a bunch.
Okay. Keep buying.
And don't forget, once you do, file that serial number off that thing. So it's
Oh my God.
ready to go. You got to make a move.
We legally cannot tell them to do
I don't know
that.
this guy.
Thank
I don't know this guy,
you.
Chris. I'm not his friend. I just met him today on the show.
It's funny because I have a sawed-off shotgun, and
You look like Ted Kaczynski's nephew.
Yeah, you do really do. Dude.
we do go way back. I have a sawed-off shotgun, and I inherited it from a comic who was all fucking coked out one night, and he's like, "I need you to get rid of this gun." And I'm like, "I love you. You got to be honest. Is this a dirty gun?" And he goes, "No, I just fucked up and I filed it down and it's illegal." And I held it for a long time. And then mistakenly, I went to a cop and I was like, "Hey, I'm trying to do the right thing here. Can I give you this gun and you can do the right thing and melt it down and do whatever you do?" And he's like, "No, I fucked up, man. It was a bad move." I thought,
like, who goes to a cop? I got an illegal gun. Can you
guys
help me
that
out?
hang out with cops. All right, I used to hang out with cops when I trusted them. I don't
That is
trust them
the
anymore.
whitest thing ever said on this fucking.
I know.
That is the whitest.
So what
thing ever.
happened?
I just
The
had
cop
6 of
goes,
them.
I'm going to pretend like we didn't even have this conversation. And I go, "What do you mean? You're not going to help me out?" And he goes, "You need to take that to the station yourself. I don't even want to be a part of this." And I was like, "I'm not going to a fucking station with a fucking sawed-off shotgun. I thought you were my friend. You were going to help me." He's like, "You're on your own." And I'm like, "Yeah, obviously." So I still have it.
This story's so bad. How he quit the show.
I still
How he
have
quit
that.
the show.
Let me turn my camera off. Yeah.
Going underground. Oh.
Chris, thanks for being on the show. We're gonna move on from you. Okay, I guess it's okay. Hey, Sideways. All right, so let's get into some. I don't want to keep Hotep.
Okay,
here all
I
day,
will
so-
give you my picks. I only have 2, and one is extremely speculative. A company called JMP. It's a small public company. It's a bank, so we can play off the banks. Normally,
Evan, can you look these up?
Yeah, he's gonna pull it up. Normally, I hate banks and detest banks, but if I see an opportunity to make a little money, I'm going to. And this is a total spec play. And the reason it's speculative is Wedbush jumped in and bought a shit ton of their stock.
Jesus.
And one tool that we need to bring up is insider trade, not insider trading, but institutional buying. And if anybody's ever looking at a stock, you can always pull it up and say, well, shit, who bought? Did somebody sell? Did the CEO dump a bunch of shares? So what I always do when I look at a stock is I look to see who's buying and selling the stock. And Wedbush, is a very big company. And can you pull that up, Evan, that screenshot I sent you? I emailed it to you.
Yeah, I got it.
I saw some interesting buying. And if we look at this is a couple weeks ago. Can you see those purchases where Wedbush is buying JMP at literally 30 shares for $126? Okay. And then you scroll up. What did they do on the 19th? They bought $437,000 of this stock. And I'm thinking to myself, this doesn't make any fucking sense. Why would they literally buy 30 shares and then bump it up to 40? And all of a sudden they're buying $500,000. Well, after they did, that stock shot up. Pull up the chart, the 1 month. That stock on February 19th went from $5 to $7.20. Look, see that pop? And of course, it leveled out a little bit. And I think it's got an opportunity to pop back up. So this is total speculative play here. But I like the opportunity for a bounce this week. So I bought midweek, and if you notice, like we always say, if you're tracking our buys during the week, I post them immediately. I took out a half position in this, so that's my pick for a stock to really move this week. And then long term, I like IPOE, and if you've been following it, it is Shamath's SPAC that is basically bringing SoFi to market. If you don't know what SoFi is it's an app that is being targeted to millennials. And this, by the way, I'm underwater on this.
Millennials or Generation Z?
Generation Z, excuse me. So SoFi, obviously, they just got this huge branding rights with the stadium here in LA. It's an app. It's an all-in-one app that is being marketed towards Gen Z to not only get a mortgage, but you're going to be able to trade crypto on there. You're going to be able to, I think they're shooting for Robinhood 2.0 to be.
I like that.
I think that's what they're branding themselves as.
Sophie, it's called
SoFi. It's what our stadium's named after.
I do like that, dude.
It's taken a hit, and I think the price could go a little bit lower, but I'm already deep into it, so I'm going to dollar cost average in a little bit. And then one other play I made midweek was the Score, and its ticker is SCR. And I've been tracking this stock for over a year, and I bought it when it was like $4 or $5. It was trading on the Toronto Stock Exchange, and then it got uplisted to the NASDAQ. What this is Canada's largest sports app. It's their ESPN, where everybody goes to their app. And this is another gambling play. They're going to be platforming gambling, and they have the Canadian market already under their thumb. So Penn Gaming has a huge stake in them. And I think, once gambling is just accepted as mainstream, they're going to be able to platform this for all their users to gamble on. And what's the advantage?
In the States too, or just Canada?
It's in the States as well, but their market is Canadian. So if people want to start gambling, they've already got the fucking app on their phone, and they don't have to install anything new. It just rolls out and says, oh, you want to bet on the game? Boom, you're in. So I might have overpaid, but it's a long-term hold for me. Again, it's the Score. And then JPM, total speculation play. I wouldn't take a full position in it, but if you want to take a ride on something I think can take off. And then SoFi is a long-term hold for me. So those are my plays of the week.
I like
so
the
far,
SoFi.
invest in track money. I'm looking at it on the App Store now.
Yeah, I really think they're advertising everywhere as well. And again, this is Shama SPAC, and after the merger hasn't gone through yet, but it has taken a big tank in the last month. So I think it's got a chance. You know, a lot of people say it's a great long-term play. I'm going to dollar cost average in just because I'm down on it.
All right. You ready? You ready for the heat? You ready for
All
the
right,
heat?
bring that heat, boss. Bring
You
that
ready for the
heat.
heat? Who bought FSR, baby? Who bought FSR? What FSR do, Evan?
32% over a day.
By the way, Hotep, just to interject, this is what we call the ball working portion of the show. So we suck our own dicks, basically. If somebody picked a stock that blew up, and Howie and Lil E are about to get their balls worked. Go ahead and start, guys.
So this is a stock, everyone. I told you to buy it when it was around 19. I bought it at 18. And in 3 days, the stock went from 19 to 29. I want everyone to know I sold it at 28. I sold it. I took profits. I don't own it anymore. If it drops back to 23, 24, I'll buy it again. But I sold it. I took profits. I got a lot of DMs. Quite a few people took my advice and they bought it and they made money on it. The other stock, DSX, still at 310, 315. We're still way up on it. Listen, I'm going to a total 180, not a 360, a 180 this week. This is the stock you want to buy this week. You want to buy it tomorrow. It's a pretty well-known stock, guys. Go out and buy VZ, buy Verizon. And I'll tell you why I want you to buy Verizon. It's trading at around 45. Stock symbol's VZ.
55.
It's a large cap value stock. The markets are going to get nutty this week. You're going to have a lot of volatility, a lot of growth stocks. Going to be all over the place. 55, I'm sorry. This stock, look where it's down. The stock is taking a little bit of a dip. I don't care if it goes up, down. It pays a 4.5% dividend. 4.5% regardless of what it does. I think this thing's going to jump back up to 62, 63. So on top of that 4.5%, you get another 10, 11, 12%. I love the stock right here, baby.
We're buying Verizon. Is that what you're saying?
Verizon.
You're going corporate. How do you feel about that, Sam?
Hey, dog, I'm an outlaw, but my money can be corporate.
By the way, did you buy KLR when I told you to?
I did buy some KLR, dog.
Okay, up a good
my
12%
my GMBLW's down a little bit, but that's fine. That's fine.
Believe.
For me, I don't have a new pick this week. I'm licking my wounds.
He's twitching. He's still twitching, man. He's twitching.
Hey, there's only room for one Twitcher on this show, and that's me, bro. Okay, so.
Well, don't dismiss this opportunity to not get your balls worked.
Oh, I'm gonna get my balls worked.
You did hold on to OCGN, and I
talk about that OCGN, and I'm holding it too. I'm holding it too, Withy. I almost sold it. Chrissy, we need to sing the pounce to 11 or 12 this week.
Oh, it will. It's going to.
I hope you're right.
There's only going to be more news. But yeah, what would we go from? We went from it kept going down. It was like 775, something like that. And I was like, shit, I might need to sell this. And then all of a sudden they're like, boom, we're sending 20 million vaccines to Brazil. And then that thing just shot up to damn near $11. Chris paper handed it.
Fuck you.
Like a little paper hand. Kind of deserves it for the GME call. It's a little payback, I think.
No, me paying you back was giving you money that you didn't deserve, and me gifting you $100. Okay, you are your own man. You pull your own triggers, and you pushed out. And you didn't trust your gut. And had you trusted your gut, you would have had a 37 bagger. That is not on me.
You only
37,000, dude. You would have 37.
You would have 37x. We went over this. Were you here for last week's show, Sam?
I check out anytime you talk.
Okay.
Anyway, keep an eye on OCGN. If they get approved by the FDA, could be going up to 50, 100, whatever. I'm still in. I have a very low average cost, so I'm diamond handing it.
And Brian, do you like anything this week? Would you like to make a pick?
I don't trade, man. I'm a boring investor. I just every month.
Okay.
So the first is coming up. So I'll just be buying the holds I got.
Well,
All right, man.
well,
Hey, Brian,
let me
Brian,
ask-
give us a business. Give us a solid business right now to look into. Like you're working with a lot of young business owners. Give us something you like.
That's on the market.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be on the market. Just an idea. Someone you're working with.
Kron.
What is Kron?
Yeah, what's that?
Really cool app. They got a companion app called Titan. I use it for my calendar. But just the way they display your data, your music, your images, really cool company. I'll be speaking with them this week. That's my dark horse for 2020.
All right. Awesome, man. Yeah, definitely. Is that CHRON?
KRON.
Can you send a link and we'll list it in our description so everybody can check it out?
Yeah,
I got it already.
KRON.
Let's see it.
Kronark.
This one?
Yeah, there it is.
And what does it do? It lists all your data, your
pictures, music, and a very cool way to access it. You access it almost like planetary orbits and whatnot. I mostly use it for the calendar because I needed a new calendar app. But I'll be speaking with that company this week. Really cool people over there. They're actually fans of my show. I didn't even realize it. I sent them a message, telling them about their app. And they're like, yo, we watch your show. And I'm like, oh, shit, really? So, yeah, really cool app.
Awesome.
So here's the thing, Brian. We have to do some maintenance around here and go through our readers' questions and all that kind of crap. So you're free to stay if you want. If not, I totally get it. But
yeah, I'm gonna head out. I gotta head out. My uncle's here now, so I'm gonna head out. Yeah.
Real quick, where can they find you?
Yes.
BrianSharp.co, BRYANSHARPE.co.
All right, man.
Thank you for coming on the
HotepJesus,
show.
always a
HotepJesus.
pleasure to chop it up with you, dude.
Thank you.
I'm sure if I get another podcast, you'll be on that soon too. So.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm in all of them, man. Just
Thanks
reach
for
out.
coming on, dude.
Thanks for coming on.
All right, bro.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. This has been great. We will do it again. Send your questions. Send your anything you want. Feedback. We'll check the links out. We got Reddit pages. We got Discord. We got a YouTube channel that we talked about earlier. Make sure you subscribe there because eventually the show will only be available on YouTube, on that YouTube channel. And just support everybody on the show because we appreciate it. And the little show that could hopefully just keeps growing and growing. I have nothing but this is one of the most exciting shows to do. So I'm super excited. Guys, thanks so much. You have a good time today?
I had an amazing time.
It's great.
Oh, and please leave us those iTunes reviews because they help us out tremendously, and we love reading them.
All
And
right,
I'm gonna
guys.
be with this comedian Sam Tripoli Thursday in New Jersey, Morris Plains, Tips
It's gonna be
Comedy
a
Club.
good one,
It's gonna be
dude. It's gonna
friggin'
be
nuts.
a good one, dude. It's gonna be a good one. Saturday sold out for show, so come hang out and let's rock and roll. Evan, anything to say?
Nothing to say. Just keep following the Discord, the Reddit, Twitter, obviously, and then we're just going to be releasing those pics.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. We'll see you guys again. You remember, the show drops every Monday and Thursday. We'll see you soon.
Cash Daddies. Cash Daddies. Cash Daddies. Cash Daddies.
Cash Daddies is for entertainment purposes only. You'd be an idiot to listen to anything these degenerates say. Invest at your own risk, do research, but seriously don't listen to these ass clowns. Now enjoy Cash Daddies.